Yo. Yo, what's up, Taz? What's up? I'm still here. Good to see you guys. Alright, I'm gonna say this right now. I hope you guys aren't... I hope... I'm gonna set expectations right now, right as we start. I hope you guys didn't come here expecting to be entertained, because, like, I'm actually sleepy already right now. I literally just streamed just because I had stuff to do. Just, you know, just weeklies and dailies, just, you know, using up resin stuff. But I didn't wanna like put this off for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I don't know, I might be too busy to do it tomorrow. Right, the live stream was on the 3rd. Oh, what are the enemies in here? Huh, interesting. Overgrown, so that's the big guy. Okay. You heard. So, okay. Well, I mean, as far as I can tell, doesn't seem to have been any official announcement yet. So, it sounds like you are in leak territory, my friend. Anyway, how are you guys? How are you guys this weekend? Yeah, I might go for this team. Nothing much is typically good, right? Because, like, if it was an awful weekend, then typically people would say, well, you know, like, if something bad happened, typically, you know, people would just say, okay, yeah, it was awful. But if you say, yeah, it's okay, or wasn't bad, not bad, or whatever, typically means nothing bad happened, which is good. That's what people sort of want life to be now. People just don't want life to be bad. Anyway, somebody recommended was it Mushoku Tensei a while back? Recommended recommended it to me on stream, and I finally got to watching it. And I literally binged it last night, which is also why I'm quite tired right now. Literally went to bed at 5 in the morning, and then I woke up. I woke up at 8, I think. Yeah, went to bed at 5, woke up at 8. Didn't even take a nap today. Yeah. I was so sleepy while working that I literally had to stand up. Thank goodness I was able to find a way to just point my camera up so that my face would still be in focus. Or sorry, not camera, my webcam. Yeah, camera. My focus so that my face would still be visible while standing up. And I gotta say, it's good. It's certainly got quite a few flaws, but really it's just me being a critic. And I think it's a great anime. There are just a few. I just have a few criticisms about it, but overall I think it's great. I don't remember what it's called in English. Something jobless. Oh, that's it. Yeah, jobless reincarnation. Yeah. I finally got to watching it, and it's not bad. It's not bad. What impresses me the most is the art style. I really like that art style. Like it's like the traditional, like almost like almost 100% fully 2D animated. I noticed there were, I think, a few 3D animated parts, but it's if they were 3D, then they were so subtle that it was hardly ever even noticeable, or it was just it was just 2D animated, but like maximum effort 2D animated, that they even like they even put in the effort to draw the perspective shifts. Yeah, so that's what really blew me away. It was the almost or maybe 100% 2D animation, including perspective shifts, which was, I think, awesome. And like most, like you could just see it. Like the animators, the artists were just flexing the whole time, like and they were just flexing their animations the whole time, especially in season one, and then season one part two. Um, it, I love that the intro song wasn't just an intro song that was exactly the same, like could be a music video of its own, like just slotted into the full length episode. No, I love that they just insert the music, and then that's it. That's the intro song, and there's literally there's no dialogue between the characters, but they show mostly, they do like a little world building, but then like it's mostly visual world building, and by that I mean they just sort of show off what the world looks like. They show random clips of like a fish jumping out of the stream, or like I don't know, like somebody picking up a tomato from a tomato stand. Random, random. I guess that's what you call B-roll. I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, just random, very, very random clips that sort of just make you feel like this is a real world. It feels alive and it feels lived in. Like there's people living there. There's people doing stuff. There's people like doing transactions. It feels like a real world, other than it being a cartoon. And I loved it. A little disappointed, in season two that they sort of did away with they did away with the whole like doing that. Instead, they just opted for just the typical intro song. Yo, RJ, how's it going? Yo, what's up, Nashity? What's up, Chokoshu? Jinrin? Only 3 hours of sleep. Yeah, sorry. I think my chat froze a while ago, and then I refreshed it, and then I started rambling. Jobless reincarnation. Yeah, exactly. Jogging while speaking on headset. Wait, who? Wait, you, Shinrin? You're literally jogging right now, lol. And then like you're just like typing through text to speech. Corporate do live stream when? I thought I missed it because I was busy that night, but I was surprised it was postponed. Yeah, it was. It was because of some like somebody important in China passing away. Heard that someone from Hoyo in the stream. From Hoyo in the stream died. Postponed live stream. No, it wasn't somebody from Hoyo. It was somebody in China, like somebody really important in China. Not the president, but somebody pretty close to that important. Studio Orange does 3D the best. Yeah. I mean, okay, I'm not very familiar with Studio Orange. Sounds familiar, I can't recall like anime that they've done off the top of my head, but the name sounds familiar. 3D. Who's the studio again that the Genshin is getting for their anime? UFO Table. Ufotable. I have no idea how to pronounce it. I'm just gonna keep pronouncing it as UFO Table. Um, so now I don't remember the first few seasons of Demon Slayer, but the most recent one, the Blacksmith Village, I think is what it's called. Um, the Blacksmith Village arc had a lot of 3D in it, but then, and don't get me wrong, most of it was like well done, right? Like it was done with purpose. Either it was done to, it was done to make perspective shifts easier, because perspective shifts, like just basically turning the camera off a little bit, off angle a little bit, going around a subject, means you literally have to draw frame by frame by frame each perspective shift of your subject, right? Or whatever is in camera. And that is a lot of effort. That takes a lot of effort, and you can hardly recycle any reuse any of the previous frames that you already drew. Whereas using 3D makes it a little easier, because you only have to, you sort of have to just model the characters / assets of this specific scene once. You texture all of it, and then you have to try to match that with your 2D shot, and then find a way to fluidly connect the 2D to the 3D, or find what's the term? Find a moment. Yeah, I'm sure there's like a proper terminology for this in filmmaking, but find a moment where you can like switch from 2D to 3D, and then to do your to switch from 2D to 3D, to do your perspective shifts or whatever it is that you're suddenly using 3D for. But I feel like the most recent season of Demon Slayer, some, not all, again, just a few. I just had a few gripes about it. There were just a few moments that I felt like they just inserted in a scene, and which could have been easily done in 2D, but they just did it in 3D just because they could. Either they could, or just, I don't know, just being lazy. I don't know. I mean, like, again, I'm no animator, right? I could be absolutely wrong, but I just, at least from as far as I could tell, some of those. What is this? Isn't this? Oh, okay. No, it's not new. Right. Can't believe I've never seen this before. Or at least, oh no, I think I've done this before, just don't remember it, I guess. And I don't know, I get the feeling that we're gonna get a similar experience to a similar experience when the Genshin anime finally comes, as basically take the imagine Demon Slayer, but then replace everybody with Genshin characters and Teyvat. I think that's literally gonna be it. But my biggest gripe about Demon Slayer is, so not with the animation. This is another part of it. This is the I don't know which specific part this is. If this is with writing or direction, I don't know. Or yeah, I don't know. It could be both. But they have so many moments where, okay, and I understand it does feel it does it's like a form of entertainment. I understand that you keep your audience You keep your audience sort of sitting at the edge of their seat, right? Keep giving them these exciting moments, like moments when Tanjiro finally hits the neck, like the neck of a demon, and then finally hits it, and then he's like, yeah, I finally got it, and then and then you're like, yes, is this it? Is this it? Are they finally gonna win? And then like all of a sudden you see Tanjiro's face go from a go to a and then like it cuts to a shot of a demon's neck, like for some reason being really really hard, and like apparently his blade just touched it but didn't even dig into it, and then like okay, and then later somehow the demon runs away, escapes, and then it's gonna take like another 2 or 3 episodes before Tanjiro's blade can connect again with the demon's neck, and then finally digs in a little bit, and he's like, yeah, okay, it's digging in now, all right. And then another thing comes up, and then it's just enough that the demon somehow is able to escape.
Certainly worth the
And then you get another 4 or 5 episodes of having to wait for that next moment, and it just feels like there's so little story happening. There's so little story progression for so many episodes. And I understand that is part of that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I don't know. I just don't like it. It's just my preference. I know it's subjective. It's just my preference, but I don't know. I generally don't like it when there's so little information being conveyed in so much time. Like exactly the way Genshin is paced. And the show ends on a cliff. Exactly, right? I mean, like, I don't mind a cliffhanger here and there, because I understand they want you to keep coming back, and I understand that. But at the same time, the cliffhanger keeps you excited for the next one, which is not always a bad thing. But they do it so often that it's awful, and sometimes the cliffhanger is just so that there's a cliffhanger. Like, it's not even like a very good moment to cut. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great. I love Demon Slayer, but just I just don't think it's perfect. I have a few gripes about it. I know that some of my gripes are subjective, but I feel like a lot of people, maybe not everybody would agree with me, but I feel like a lot of people would agree with some of my personal subjective gripes about it. Where am I going? And I am actually kind of looking forward to the Genshin anime, but just for those reasons, for the thing I was talking about with 3D, like using too much 3D, and some like no, not even occasionally, just often, not very often, but like often using 3D just to use 3D. And it doesn't, like, for a shot that could have been easily done in 2D, or some shots might even have been easier to do in 2D and would look absolutely better in 2D. Plus the very, very slow pacing. I know that Genshin is all about that slow pacing. And all of us here are witness to that. We wait for, like, I don't know, we wait for... How did that miss? We wait for from 3.2, right? Like, I don't know, like, from version, like, 3.2 or whatever, 3.3, people already start talking about, like, 3.8, 3.7, 4.0. And then, like, all that hype hype for so long, and then like, okay, when it pays off, it's like, how do I best describe this? Oh no, okay, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to use this as a reference. Okay, I'm gonna try to make this as as family friendly as possible. I mean, most of us here, or if not all of us here, are dudes, right? Right. Any ladies, if you're not interested at all, you could leave for like maybe 5 minutes and then come back after 5 minutes. Or if you're interested in hearing about it, feel free to stay. Sure. Uh, right. So you know, like, okay, for all of us dudes, right? We're all guys here. During happy time, like, it just sometimes it just takes so long, and like it's such an unsatisfying finish, right? You know, like moments like those. Occasionally that happens. Like, it just takes so long, and like, and it's sometimes it's not as satisfying. The payoff isn't as satisfying as you expected it to be. I don't know. Just, I hate it. Like, okay. An example. Here's an example. Our conquest. Actually, all of the Arc conquests, especially recently, there's so much hype, and like they try to build all this hype and stuff through the trailers, through the special program, and people talking about it online, and I don't even like. In fact, I actively try to tune it out and like ignore it and avoid watching the trailers and stuff, just to avoid, you know, just to keep myself from getting disappointed. Like, for example, the Carry Bear, I don't know. I think it was the last one. Yeah, I think it was the final our conquest in Sumeru before we got to Fontaine. I remember feeling so hyped that we finally started to, you know, dig a bit more into Abyss, into the Abyss, into the what's their organization called? Abyss Order. There you go. Abyss Order. And then we don't even learn anything. What did we learn? We learned the name of Kaya's great ancestor. We learned why he started the what is it? The Abyss Order. And none of our questions were answered. Didn't help us find our sibling. It just basically gave us like a little glimpse of where our sibling was. It just showed us like a little glimpse of what our sibling did, but nothing to do with where they are, how we're gonna, you know, get together with them. Nothing. It was just a bunch of almosts. Yeah, that's it. That's it. We got a bunch of almost an answer.
Solidify.
Access denied.
The wind knows me.
It's like when your big sister buys you an ice cream, but buys two like there's only, you know, you and your big sister are out and about going, you know, at the park. She buys 2 ice cream cones. And then you're like, oh, well, there's only 2 of us, so I guess one of it is for me, right? Yeah, and then you're like excited and stuff, and then she finally gets the 2 of them, walks over to you, and then, you know, hands over the ice cream, but then doesn't let you hold it. She just lets you smell it. And then she just promptly eats all of it on her own. That's, you know, that's sort of how I feel. And I understand why they're doing that. They want Genshin's story to go on for as long as possible because obviously they don't want Genshin to end. They don't want to run out of story to tell. But how long can you keep people on that edge, right? Like keep people like on that thin line between interested enough to keep coming back but not too interested that just get the thin line between giving people just enough answers to keep them interested but not giving them too many answers that they probably won't come back anymore because they got all the answers already. Yo, RJ, how are you? Hey, what's up, Anime Devil? I'm fine, man. I'm rambling. I was supposed to be sleepy, and I still am. Like I could feel it, but I'm like a little fired up right now. A little fired up, rambling about like all the because like I love Genshin. I want this game to be, and it already is a great game, but I just can't help but feel like it could be absolutely so much better. But at the same time, every time I think about an idea to make it better, I start thinking about the logistics of it, the economics of it, and I'm like, okay, I understand why they didn't do this. I understand why they did it this way, etc. And all I'm left with is just having to because like, it's I keep thinking of ideas, like I keep thinking of stuff to complain about, but then like at the end of the day I'll like eventually understand why they did it that way, but I still don't like it. So I got to name my wanderer. Oh, okay. What did you name your wanderer? So yeah, I was talking about the future Genshin anime that's coming, and then I was also comparing it to Demon Slayer. But we got started on this topic because of Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, I believe is what it's called. I recently watched it and I literally binged it. I binged it last night. I watched season 1, part 1 and part 2 all night. Went to bed at 5 in the morning, and then I finished the rest of it today. Season 2 today. Earlier today, and it was pretty good. Definitely one of the better animes that I've seen. Still have a few gripes about it, but they're gripes that I also understand. Like it feels like just compromises. It feels like
Stabilize.
and I could feel like they maybe wanted to do it the better way, but maybe they weren't able to.
Born of ice and frost.
And I think that was mostly because like they were limited to how long each episode was and how many episodes that they were gonna put out for each season, and I think that was the problem. It may be if like they had longer, if they were releasing longer episodes or more episodes per season, then I think they might have been able to like put in a lot more character development. I don't know if you guys I don't know if you guys know about this this feeling. Like occasionally when I watch an anime, I'll feel like I've been watching for like an hour or two, an hour or more already, and then I realize, oh, I just watched one 24-minute episode. But but it feels like I've been watching for like an hour or more, and that's mostly, it's the anime that just has so much, that tells so much story, or that does so much character development in like each episode, as opposed to the type of anime that that is basically trying to extend its runtime, trying to delay the story for as humanly possible. And I really like those types of animes that try to like pack in all the information in each episode. It just feels so much more satisfying. But at the same time, there's also point of diminishing returns to that, because if you have way too much story to tell and not enough runtime, not enough number of episodes, then you'll just end up with what feels like you wanted to tell a story, but then all you ended up was just bits and bobs of like a really long story in like a really short episode.
Thank you for
Free Welkin came? Yo, you won the free Welkin? I didn't even enter, I'm sorry. Congrats, man. Maybe Arlecchino is the physical harbinger I've been waiting for. So far, I have not been interested in any of the harbingers. Tartaglia is the only harbinger I have, and I only have him on my third account, and I've binged him so hard that I don't know. I haven't even clicked on his profile in so long. Not only have I not used him in so long, I haven't even opened up his profile in the character menu in so long. Hello, you sound like Mario. I do. What do you think? What makes me sound like a Mario? I don't think I'm speaking like an Italian. Do I sound like a plumber already? I'm sure I sound like a little bit like a plumber, right? Poor child. I know. I feel bad about it, but I can't bring myself to use it. Wander though. Bit of a different story. I am actually kind of interested in Wander, but not, because I think he's really good. He's not bad, but I think he's just so good for overworld exploration, right? I think he's quite good for overworld. I think he's about as good as Kazuha in the overworld. That's what I think. Are you F2P? Yes. Yes, and no. Alright, let me explain. To answer your question, yes, and no. But let me explain first. I have 3 accounts. Two of them are completely F2P. And then this one I'm on right now, this is my main account. This is not fully F2P. Welkin only. Yeah, but I've been getting the Welkin for quite a while now. Not since day one though. Not since day one of the account, but pretty close. Or no, actually, this account is about 3 years old now. Yeah, about 3 years old now, and I've probably had the Welkin active for maybe half of that, I think.
If you ever...
Yeah, and I bought the battle pass a few times, like I think 5 times. Yeah, because I only have 5 battle pass weapons. R4 Black Sword, because I wanted Keqing to be good. I wanted her to be good I tried so hard, and she just wouldn't. She just wouldn't be good. She just didn't want to be good. My fifth battle pass weapon was, I believe, deathmatch somewhere here, and I didn't even bother leveling it up. I just never got the chance to use it.
Osmanthus wine
I just got it because I know it's a good pole arm, but I never got the
Where are
chance to use
those
it because
who
at some point I got this, and then at some point I got Homa, so, and then like at some point I actually got good at, well, not good, but like I actually like started to understand the game, and then I started to level up. Where are they?
Boats are made for
Where are my
transferring
5 pole
commodities back
arms?
and forth. And those that come across Liyue tend to
Oh
stay
yeah.
a while.
Yeah,
So it is where
I
many
built
things
5
go
pole
wrong.
arm, and then like I just deathmatch got benched. I'm annoyed with my account. I don't get anything. Oh, it's alright, man. You just need to keep playing. That's sort of what all of us are doing. Yeah, all of us here. So all of us are basically 99% broken hearts, and then the 1%, the 99% like broken hearts, and then 1% not bad. That's basically all of us here. Hey, what's up, Shuri? Good to see you, man. How are you? Child wailed, so he will be meta again. No, I don't think child wailed, but I think child got wailed.
Solidify.
Yeah, I think that's more appropriate. Can I still change weapons now? Yes, okay. Switch characters, please. Why won't you switch? Can you sit still?
Illusions are but distractions. Shattered. No, my sword. Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey. Only emptiness awaits.
Yeah, child has drink whale milk now. He's strong. Drinking whale milk. Isn't that like the weirdest thing? Yeah, have you guys ever seen how mama whales breastfeed baby whales? They just sort of just dump the milk in the water, and then baby whale just sort of just swims through it, like with their mouth open. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if humans did it that way too? I mean, like, obviously it would be normal to us if it was actually how we were designed to do it, but then like as we are now, it just seems so weird. How did you know it was the correct rating clone? I just guess. Yeah, I actually didn't know it was the correct one, which is why, I don't know if you noticed, Shuri, which is why I didn't move towards it until I saw that it okay. I guess you mean like even before, like, why did I go to that one and start hitting that one? So how you know it's the real Raiden clone is the fake ones will only shoot out like 1 slash, and then the real one shoots out an X slash. And that's sort of like, as soon as like she splits off into 4, I will like pick one and I'll stare at it, and I'll try to like maybe get 2 of them in one frame, just so I could see, but I'll also pay attention to the ones behind me, to see like where their projectile is coming from, just in case it's not the 2 that I could see within frame. And I'll pay attention to see where the X electro slash is coming from. I was today years old when I do that. I don't remember where I learned this. I think it was I probably watched this from a YouTube video. I guarantee you I watched it from a YouTube video. Yeah, I would never ever figure out stuff like this on my own. RJ was on the brink of falling asleep while researching and studying Genshin characters. Researching and studying Genshin characters. Jeez, okay. I was like, when you said researching and studying, I was like, oh, doing homework of Genshin characters, huh? I hate them because I find it hard to understand this kit. Well, yeah, it is really, well, maybe not really hard, but there's so much going on in this kit that all you sort of really need to know is the basic gist of it is just build him as you would a normal DPS, but give him a bit more EM. Actually, no, give him EM, but don't completely ignore attack. EM is better, more EM is better, but too low of an attack is also bad, and that's sort of just how you do it. And another thing you also have to keep in mind is he's still good, but not as good in teams that don't have any electro in them. You know, like if you have no way to do spread, then he's not as good. So yeah, either run him in an actual spread team or basically any team that has electro in it. Electro where Alhaitham can spread. Another thing that you also want to look up is how much ER you want on him ideally, because crit rate, crit damage, everybody knows that, right? It's basically the same for any crit scaling DPS. You just sort of want to know how much ER you want to aim for, so that you can use his burst. Like he's not burst reliant. Like he doesn't need to burst every rotation. His burst is, yes, it is good damage, but because you can infuse from both his skill and his burst, you don't need his burst. His infusion, his dendro infusion from his skill is pretty long, right? And that's why he's not burst reliant. The downtime from his, because there is still some downtime from his dendro infusion from his skill. It's not 100% uptime, but that downtime is not very long. That it's basically just about enough time for you to be able to rotate through your other characters. So by the time that you rotate through your other characters, like Alhaitham's skill will be ready, and like you won't even be able to like burst. Burst, to me, Alhaitham's burst is like, either if you have enough energy recharge, then yeah, why not spam it, right? If you have enough energy recharge. But if you don't, then it's sort of just like an additional way to get his dendro infusion. Like for example, if you mess up your like for example you somehow didn't activate Kuki or Raiden Shogun's E in a Hyper Bloom team, and you need to oh, yo, thanks for the super, wrong person. Appreciate it, man. And you sort of let's say you want to swap to Kuki because like I don't know, you forgot to activate their E, and obviously without their E you won't be able to Hyper Bloom or spread, right? Do Quicken. So what you know, because he can infuse from his burst too, not just his skill, you can swap off of him. You'll lose your infusion, but then when you burst, you'll get your infusion back, and then just continue your rotation as usual.
Solidify.
Gotcha. Rain outlines your fate. Witness.
Why is the super chat not showing up on the top. It's true. I can see it in chat, but it usually the super chat usually shows up like above as well.
Take it easy.
That's weird. I remember Linus from from LTT, Linus Tech Tips, complaining about super chat being broken, and he mentioned something like this, where you could see the super chat in chat as it's like rolling up, but like any other place where super chats are supposed to show up, it's just not there.
Gather.
Rain cutter. Quiet now. Rain outlines her. Here comes the catch.
Didn't realize that I got an Alhaitham. So, you didn't realize that you got an Alhaitham? What? How do you not realize you get a 5-star? A limited 5-star too. Like if it was like a, I don't know, if it was a Kaching constellation, sure, yeah, Kaching, Mona, Chi-Chi constellation, Dia constellation, sure, yeah. Hey, cool. Hey, I didn't know my Dio is C6 already. I didn't know she was C4 already, right? Sure. But then like I literally a limited 5-star. How do you not know that? I'm studying because I find it fun to actually learn. Execute rotation perfectly to the hits. Ah, I see, I see. Alhaitham is, well, not just Alhaitham, but like Dendro teams in general are very, how do I say it? They're very unga bunga. Yeah. Yo, it's Kazushi. How you been? Yo, what's up, Kazushi? Did you change names or is this a different YouTube account? I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm quite sleepy, but I'm not I'm not dozing off yet. So that's good. I'm quite sleepy because I only had 3 hours of sleep last night, and yeah, it's not great. It was my fault though, completely my fault. Why I hardly had sleep. Are you pulling for Farina, or should we wait for second rerun? So yeah, I'm not sure about that yet, actually. Actually, oh, no. Actually, my mind is made up. I am getting Farina when she releases. I'm not gonna wait for her rerun.
Before me, world.
Now, it is a sort of known pattern
Insignificant pest.
that Archons typically rerun 4, I think.
No touching.
4 version updates later after their initial release.
Feeble human. Stabilize.
Now, obviously, Hoyo could always decide to stop that trend, but it is quite quite a known trend that Archons rerun 4 version updates after their initial release. So if you wanted to skip the Archon on their initial release, then you can, especially if you're like saving up primitives for somebody else. But if you really want them, then yeah, sure, go right ahead. But I don't know. I think Farina might be a pretty difficult character to skip. I've heard a few things about her, and she's pretty good, at least from what I've heard.
Burn to oblivion.
Oh, come on. No. Yes, I made it. Okay.
Solidify. Kneel.
And you're down. 0, 1. Swap. Yep.
Good riddance, cruel world.
Access denied.
Oh, what the? I just saw a big purple thing and I thought that was the thing. Oops. Just changed my name, not played Genshin in over a year.
Gather.
Congratulations!
Let's light it up.
No touching.
You made it out, man. What's it like on the outside? Can you let us know?
I can't.
None of us know what's it like on the outside. Oyo doesn't want Zhongli incident, so I think they do justice for the Archon of Justice. They do justice for the Archon of Justice. The thing with Furina though is while she can work with a lot of other characters, it's going to be a lot easier to make her work with characters that already self-augment their HP. So characters like Wriothesley, Neuvillette, and even Linny, they have a way to augment their own HP without Furina having to do it. And it's just a lot more effective that way. Furina seems to have a way to basically kill your on-field character, like slowly, painfully. Alright, RJ, I'm gonna hop off. Got a meeting in a few minutes. Catch you later. Have a happy stream. Oh, thank you, Sherry. I appreciate you stopping by, man. Take care. Take care. I'm building Neuvillette, Mona, Kazo, and Beidou. Oh, wait, yeah, that's right. Beidou's burst. You know, I keep forgetting that Beidou's burst procs from charged attacks. I don't know why. I keep forgetting that. Like, it's just... I don't know. I don't know why. I just seem to always forget that that works. Wow, that's... Now that I've remembered it again, that's actually a pretty good team. Right now, mostly effective with Fontaine characters with HP manipulation. Ah, that's the word I'm looking for. Manipulation. Yeah, that's right. Furina does have a way to basically slowly and painfully kill your on-field character. So even without the Fontaine characters that have self HP manipulation abilities, it will work. It'll work a lot better if you just have a healer. Especially if you have a healer that can overheal. So Bennett cannot overheal. Well, he can kind of, for typically for low HP characters. If it just so happens to time it correctly, like if you just so happen to be at like 69.9 HP, or sorry, percent HP, and then because you're still below 70%, Bennett's burst is still gonna heal you. And then like if that's a low HP character, then that final, especially if you have like a really like healing focused Bennett build, then you're going from 69.9% HP to 100%, and then like that one tick from Bennett's burst will be more than enough. Then yeah, you have overheal. Apparently overhealing characters that can overheal are pretty good. So somebody like Jean, maybe even Barbara. Kokomi? Does Kokomi overheal? Or does she stop healing once you're at full? I'm not sure. Because I know that they're the characters that overheal are like the ones that have like that one big like tick, single healing tick. Like Jean burst, Sayu burst, Barbara burst. Who else? I don't know. Imagine overheal becomes a shield. Imagine healing turning into damage. Oh wait, that already exists. They somehow came up with that. The level of creativity, right? turning healing into damage. When they released the artifact set with the description that rivals the Lord of the Rings trilogy in word count. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you might want to look at the description of the clam set in the look at the description of the clam set. You guys will know what I'm talking about. What else? I think I think we're done. Yeah, we're done on this one. I'm still so sad I got her weapon. I mean, you and me both, man. Oh, speaking of which, I'm actually swapping to the very account that has her weapon, but not her. I have Donut on my second account, but no Kokomi. And the problem with Donut is, even if I did have Kokomi, still probably wouldn't use the Donut. It's such a bad weapon, though. Like, it is her best in slot weapon if you want to make Kokomi into your on-field DPS. Sure. But anything else? Absolutely not. I do appreciate that they tried very hard to make a character that didn't rely on crit, though. Like, I do appreciate that they tried to push the meta away from that. Because so people complain, all right. I've mentioned this a few times a long time ago on stream already, that no matter how much we mauled and like review bomb, whatever, no matter what the players do in Genshin, I don't think Genshin will ever nerf / buff. I don't know what it would be called. The way the artifact RNG works. I don't think they will ever do that. Because number one, it will be unfair to the hundreds of thousands of artifacts that older players have already farmed. And number two, it just doesn't. It's not the Hoyo way. If that makes sense, it's just not the way. It's just not the Hoyo way of doing things. They very, very rarely ever directly nerf / buff, characters or mechanics that are already in the game. They typically try to do it in a very roundabout way. Like, for example, okay, the way that they somewhat nerfed / buffed, I don't know if it's a nerf or a buff, because like it's sort of a buff because it's now easier for players, but at the same time it's a nerf because like how strong the artifact RNG is now a little bit weaker. Is by releasing characters that that scale off of HP or defense or EM or ER, right? Just so that those main stats, like those stats on main stats and substats are not completely useless anymore, and you're more likely to get stats that you actually want because there are actually characters that want those stats now. Yo, what's up, Bailu? How you doing, man? Lol. Long time no see. Hey, yeah, long time no see, man. How's it going? I mean, I think you've been here. You've been pretty punctual, yeah, on streams recently. It's just me who hasn't been streaming as often. Interesting. Doesn't typically happen, but sure.
Gather.
Base Chi-Chi. Oh yeah, that's right, Chi-Chi. I forgot Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi can easily overheal. And I remember one of the things I heard about Farina is that overhealing is good.
Schedule.
I'm not sure why. All I know that it's good. All I know is that it's good. Your voice changed suddenly for some reason. Maybe it's because I got up. Like so earlier I was just fully slouched. Like potato gaming slouch. Now I sort of sat up and I'm not even like leaning on the backrest anymore. Maybe that's why. I need sharks in this game. I mean, are the killer robots and giant squid and jellyfish and stingrays not enough for you? Man, you still want sharks? Do you think Alhaitham is worth the time and investment? Oh yeah, he is. He's actually very strong. Yeah, I would put Alhaitham in like among some of the top tier DPSs. He is an on-field DPS. He has 0 off-field abilities, but he's, you know, like the thing with DPSs is that's all they do. They just do damage. They don't apply an element or, you know, like off-field, or they don't buff your other characters or debuff enemies, etc. They don't do anything like that. So the more damage they do, the better, right? Because that's their job. They do damage, and if they're not very good at doing damage, then they're not a very good DPS.
No touching.
And I'd say Alhaitham is like among the best. But because it's Genshin, right? It has to do with elements.
Access denied.
You have to have if you just run him solo or like in just a really bad team for him, then of course you're not gonna get very good results with him, just like you would with basically any other DPS that you don't run. Like imagine running Yoimiya with no Yunjin and Bennett and no Zhongli, right? Or no Xingqiu or Yelan. Oops. It would still hit a little hard, but a far cry from if you put it together with Yunjin or Bennett, a Xingqiu, or a Kazuha that can swirl pyro. But he is. I think he is. If you have Nahida, even better. Most of the DPS Dendro characters just get a lot better with Nahida on the team. Oh no, sorry, not even just the Dendro characters. A bunch of the characters that even other elements, even non-Dendro characters, that whose best slash like some of their good teams are Dendro teams. So like I don't know if you want Fischl to be like a main DPS, like non-physical Electro DPS Fischl, better with Nahida. If you want Bountiful Boom Nilu team, better with Nahida. If you want a DPS Sainari, better with Nahida. Right, Zhao. I would say he's like among the top tier, but like go like one tier below. That's where I would rate Zhao. Yeah, and not because he does. I think he does do like a little bit less damage. Like his damage floor isn't very high, and his damage ceiling is high, but it's not as high as like some of the other DPSs in the game. Some of the other like best DPS in the game, but yeah, it's like it's not very hard to get him going, especially because he is a he's a hyper carry, and that is both good and bad, because if your account is so young that you haven't had a lot of resin yet to spend on farming artifacts and stuff, then your whole team will just
Next
hit
time,
like
no touching.
with rotten bananas. Yeah, it'll just hit like a wet noodle.
I will have order. Gather.
Because the damage of the whole team just almost completely relies on Zhao doing damage, and if he's not well built yet, then your team's gonna suck, right? But the advantage of that too is you kind of really only need to really build one character in a hyper carry team. In Zhao's team, that would be Zhao, and then you just sort of have to have the right weapons, enough energy recharge on your supports, like a strong enough shield if you have a shielder, etc. Right? And you don't need to hyper invest on like all your characters on the team. So it's both good and bad, and it's not just because I'm not placing Zhao in that rank. Because I think his damage is much lower than the others, than the like top tier DPSs, but it's but not by a lot. But it's also because of the way that he works, which is what I just explained. Because he's a hyper carry, his playstyle, not a lot of people like that, and I just really hate it that when he plunges, he knocks enemies back away from him. And with Zhao, you sort of either want to have him with Bennett, because more attack, right, and healing, or you want to at least give him a shielder. So shielder, fine. Like if you got Zhongli, sure, your shield obviously is gonna follow you. But if your healer is somebody like Kokomi or Bennett, where like the healing sort of stays in place, right? The jellyfish doesn't move, Bennett's burst obviously doesn't move, then you're kind of screwed. Like you keep plunging and your enemies are getting knocked away from you. And now you sort of have to chase after them outside of Bennett's circle. Maybe even outside of Kokomi's healing AoE. So yeah, he has a few problems. Like they're not kit problems; they're mostly like gameplay problems. Yeah, so and that's why I wouldn't place him in like the top tier DPSs of the game, because he has a few problems. Using Nida with him though. Oh yeah, then definitely your Alhaitham team's gonna be pretty good. So basically, wrong person. You just basically pair Alhaitham with Nahida and any Electro and Hydro character. That's it, and that'll work. That'll immediately work. Of course, some will be better than others, but if as long as you give him an Electro character, a Hydro character, sure, but not necessarily, then yeah, that's it. That's already a very good Alhaitham team. Wonder is better, right? I'm not sure. I've only played Wanderer through like trial characters, like from some events, and of course the trial run from when he was when he had his banner, and it wasn't bad. Like so I really don't like the what is it called? The trial run, like the character trial run. It's just very a very, very poor representation of what a character is actually feels like to play, because they give you so many more particles than is normal. How much can you hit with Zhongli? Probably, I don't know, 10k. He's not built for damage, man. Yeah, you cannot hit very hard with Zhongli. Like, once you see Zhongli have a lot of HP, like you don't expect him to do much damage. Yeah. Better than Zhao because it doesn't rely on burst. Oh, okay, that's a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. Better, a little bit better than Zhao already because he's not burst reliant. He's skill reliant. His burst is basically just it's just damage, right? It just does damage. There's no buff from it. There's no enemy debuff from it. It's just damage, and that's already one thing that's better. It's not damage better, but it's gameplay better, and which is one of the problems that I think Zhao has. It's gameplay problems, not damage problems. Wander does have a similar problem to Zhao, where he keeps knocking enemies back, and sometimes you might end up knocking enemies away from each other. So the thing with Zhao is Wander is that his AOE is much smaller than Zhao's.
Many things come to set.
So once the other enemies, the enemies that aren't the one that that aren't being targeted by auto targeting, are out of range of Wander's AOE, then it just, well, yeah, it's not a good time.
Stabilize.
Witness the power of the wild, huh? Gotcha. Busted.
I was wondering why he never had Hydro on him the whole time, and I realized, oh, there's grass under him. So every time Hutao is like swiping with her pole arm, she was putting the grass on fire and then putting pyro on the enemy and making it so that I wouldn't vape. Could you imagine if, oh my god, imagine if Abyss had that, right? Like, oh no, wow, wait, just had an idea. What if Abyss had that, right? Like, it had an environment. Like, sometimes it would be watery, which there are floors that have water. Like, some of the lower floors, I think floor 4, or was it floor 5? I don't remember. There's like a really low level floor that has water on the ground. And imagine like one that has grass all over. Oh yeah, that's right. There are actually environments. Like there was this one Abyss iteration back then. I think it was floor 11 that had, what's the frost thing in Dragonspine called? Permafrost? I don't remember. I think on bosses, not a bad thing, but on mobs, it's annoying. It is, yeah. The knockback thing is annoying, really annoying. In current Abyss, enemies get knocked back. Current Abyss, wait, I'm sorry. I can't I can't remember off the top of my head what the enemies are that are in Abyss. I don't think they do. Hang on, do they?
Wind strider.
I haven't really, so I don't have Zhao or Wander, and I don't really watch I don't really watch Abyss videos from other people. In fact, I don't watch Abyss videos ever. And I don't really just go into Abyss for fun nowadays. It's just, I don't know why. I just sort of lost interest in it. I used to do that so often. I used to spend like an hour, 2 hours of my free time. Just log into the game and then just to play Abyss. Just because I want to. But I don't actually know if the newer enemies get knocked back. I don't think it's a very good Abyss for Zhao / Wander. Because as far as I remember, the enemies are kind of like spread apart. Like very, yeah, they're kind of spread. They're kind of spread apart, so it's not very good for Zhao. Like you'd have to have, if you want to use Zhao, like it's weird that you'd have to have a crowd controller, which essentially uses up one of your team slots already. So sheer cold, thank you, David. Yeah. So there was an Abyss floor on floor 11,
Thank you.
mind you, floor 11 that had sheer cold. It was, I mean, I'm not sure how to feel about it, honestly. Now, with a much older account, a much more mature account, I might just, I don't know, like, I'll just be like, yeah, extra difficulty, because, you know, like, just so that it just, my account just doesn't blast through Abyss, because it's just floor 11, sure. But then, back then, it was awful. It was really bad. Black Castle, best FTP for Zhongli? I would say yes. Yeah. Because it's a 3-star weapon, right? Which means it needs much less ascension materials. So it's much easier to get to level 90. And the thing is, like with Zhongli, so what's really holding back Zhongli's potential for damage to be used as a sub DPS is the fact that his burst animation is so long. If his burst animation was just a little bit shorter, I think a lot more people would actually use him as a sub DPS, and they would actually start building him with crit, so HP and crit, because he does, you know, like he doesn't, his damage doesn't scale off of HP, but he does get like a little bit bonus damage from HP.
Gather.
Let me read you a verse. Game's up.
Yeah, look at RJ has Thoma for Zhongli. On my main account, been out to here. Yeah, so it's, and because Zhongli's burst animation is so long, you sort of have to invest a lot into him to make his burst damage worth the long burst animation. Because it's so long, you're sort of stuck in a burst animation for like, I don't know, 3 seconds, where you're not doing anything. You're just sitting there waiting in your burst animation when you could be using that burst, the 3 seconds, to swap to your other characters and rotate through their abilities. In fact, I hardly ever, I'm sure you guys have noticed, I hardly ever use Zhongli's burst because, well, I don't want to. So number one is I haven't built him for damage on my second and third accounts, and number two, I didn't build him for damage on those accounts because I don't have a good enough weapon to make him do good damage, or at least to make it easier for me to build him to do good damage. I would need to have like really, really good artifacts to make him do good enough damage for the long burst animation. Who are you farming that domain for? Nobody in particular, because like I just figured that like if I go into here, I just look at how many of these I have, and obviously this is the newest domain, so I have, you know, it's almost guaranteed that I have the least of those materials, right? And because it's the new domain, a lot more of the coming characters are going to be needing/wanting the talent materials from the newest domain, unless if they're from other regions, right? Like for example, like when Shenhe came out, she used, because she's from Liyue, she used Liyue materials, right? So, you know, just because a new region is coming out doesn't mean you should only be farming. It just doesn't mean like new characters from then on are gonna be only using the new materials. I think it's mostly region dependent where they're from. So I sort of want to have at least a decent amount of all of the ascension materials from all regions. Just stand right beside your pillar and use your burst. Wait, what did you mean? Why? You really don't need energy for Zhongli because you really need shield. Only need shield for him. It's true. Burst animation is long. Don't even use it in a bit. Yeah, like the only reason why I even use his burst is either I just want, I'm like, this is annoying, and I just want everything to stop for a moment, or I need the iframes, or like none of my abilities are on cooldown, and I just need like a little bit more damage than like a normal attack from a catalyst user right now. I just need like a decent size hit AoE, but none of my other abilities are ready.
Rain outlines your fate. Huh? Let me read you a verse. Busted. Things are about to get dicey. Rain outlines your fate. Huh?
Very weird. I just went quiet there for a moment.
Gotcha. Quietly now.
Come on, when is this? Why is this taking so much longer than usual?
Busted.
Am I dumb?
Here comes the
Am I just maybe not estimating this correctly? Maybe I just misestimated that. Standing right in front of your character with your almost hugging the pillar cancels out the animation, like when you burst in water. Oh, really? I didn't know that's how to do that. I just really thought that that was just like I know it's a glitch, yes, but I thought that it just happened randomly. I didn't think that there was like an active way to do that. Because I'm being paranoid, I don't want to regret anything. Is Hyperbloom or Shogun national team a better investment? Hyperbloom or Shogun national team? I think that depends. Like they're both pretty good. National team obviously better AoE, and Hyperbloom is better for single target. No. Well, I guess no. I think that's not completely accurate. Hyperbloom is really good single target because Hyperbloom is single target. It does like the Hyperblooms are like they have a tiny AoE, but like realistically one Hyper Bloom is never gonna hit more than one enemy because the AoE is so small. Um, but yeah, with Nahida certainly, because like as long as you mark all the enemies, then your AoE sort of covers that. Yeah, like imagine like Hyper Bloom is really good for single target, but then the Archon of the element of which what makes that uh team archetype possible makes up for the difference. Sorry, for its disadvantages in other places. In Hyper Bloom's case, it's too single target. Then Naida fixes it, like, or at least like alleviates it a little bit by helping out with AOE. And same thing with Raiden Shogun with Rational, for example. So National is already really good with AOE. It's not as good at single target, but still really good just because it's just such a really high DPS team. But Shogun sort of helps out with the single target portion of it. In terms of artifacts, Hyper Bloom is very easy because you don't need crit. Oh, okay. That's a good point to bring up. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Luap? Good to see you, man. Yeah, that's actually a really good point to bring up. Yes, Hyper Bloom is a much lower investment team. Like it'll be a lot easier to get it going, as long as you're like depending on how old your account is, you might have accumulated a bunch of random artifacts with like random main stats slash substats already.
Stabilize.
Quiet now.
The eyes sweep the land. Euthymia crumbles before me.
Yeah, you could just a Hyper Bloom team. You can get it going, even without the proper set. Like obviously, it'll be better with someone with at least one character that can reliably proc 4 Deepwood in the team. It'll be a lot better, but it doesn't even need to be like a good Deepwood. It just needs to be Deepwood. Yeah, whereas with Rational, you sort of have to invest in everybody to sort of make the team better. Except for Bennett. Bennett doesn't need the DPS investment, but you certainly can do that as well. Okay, 1k EM cookies, Hyper Bloom. You still hit 30k each seed. Finally, dumb question. When Hyper Bloom is triggered, the damage comes from the Electro unit's EM. Does that mean you don't have to build EM on your Dendro units? Just make your generic. Yes, that's right. Yeah, just build EM on your Electro character. On your character that has AoE Electro that will hit the seeds. Like with Raiden Shogun E or with Kukishinobu E. Oh wait, did I buy the thing yet? No, I did not buy it.
This realm is true.
Oops.
If you ever
I learned so much so quickly. Yeah, it is actually kind of fun to like look to do research and sort of like understand how a character or team archetype plays with certain characters in the team,
Toodaloo.
and then like learning about it yourself, and then like getting a good feel for it on your own. It does feel satisfying, yes, but like if you really just want to get a team going off the ground, and then like you just, I don't know, you sort of just basically ask for like the general gist of that team, like how to play it, what stats you want, how much ER you want on certain characters.
Toodaloo.
Time to build crit Nida. You do actually, you don't want to completely ignore crit on Nahida actually. Yeah, because Nahida's Seeds of Skanda can crit. Yeah, they can crit. So you want to build her for EM because she shares EM with the character on the field when her burst is active. And I think that's one of her passives. Yeah, it is one of her passives. Is she shares a portion of her EM to the character on the field in the AoE of her burst. So you want to build her with EM, but at the same time, you don't want to completely ignore crit because her Seeds of Skanda can crit. Now, granted, it's not as hard to build her with crit, including her passive, because she has a passive that basically gives her Seeds of Skanda bonus crit rate based on how much EM you have. Yeah, like look at my Nida, right? Like I didn't build her full EM because I wanted to build her with some crit as well. Like reason why crit rate is so low is because of the passive that I mentioned. Is I think this? Yeah, it's this passive, right? So basically, you take your EM, how much total EM you have, minus 200, and then times 0.03. And that is essentially how much more crit rate your Seeds of Skanda. So Seeds of Skanda is like the proccing, the damage that occasionally procs on enemies that are tagged or marked with the seeds with her skill. And basically, so I have 814 EM, basically 814 minus 200 times 0.03, so I get 18.42 more crit rate on the Seeds of Skanda, which is fine, right? It doesn't have to be all her damage that gets the crit rate buff, because most of her personal damage, especially if she's on field, especially if she's off field, is mostly going to be from the EM share that she does when her burst is active, or from her Seeds of Skanda doing damage on enemies that are marked with it. Right, so I essentially get 18.42 more crit rate. Am I multiplying that right? Hang on, it seems a lot. 4 minus 200 times 0.03, 18.42. 18.42 plus 48.6. So I essentially have 67% damage on my Seeds of Skanda. Right, and that's why you don't want to. This is not full EM too. This is, I think, crit rate. Yeah, EM, crit. Yep, there it is.
Let it be known.
If you're 1k EM Nahida, then you're 24 crit rate on skill. Yeah, so you do want to try.
Churn!
You do want to try to reach for 1k EM Nahida, but it's not completely necessary. But that's mostly to maximize her crit rate bonus from her crit rate bonus for her Seeds of Skanda.
At my command, you shall fall.
I see everything.
Yeah, but it's not completely necessary to reach 100 EM.
1,000 eons, mine to dominate. Burn to oblivion.
Come on.
Filth.
Next on the agenda.
What the? What is that attack?
Solidified.
Just having 700 to 800 EM is good enough. Then burst, you might get 1k. Yeah, but the EM share is only to. She only shares the EM with the characters that are on the field.
Let's light it up.
Alright,
Good
swap
riddance.
accounts.
Cruel
Alright,
world.
No touching.
Not possible.
she must be on the field.
Solidified.
Yeah, yeah. So the EM share is only for the on-field character, which is kind of disappointing because I typically run my Hyper Bloom team with only Nahida as the only Nahida as the only Dendro character, which means is because the Hydro is Xingqiu, so he applies a lot of Hydro, and Fukushinobu is the Electro, and if you're only relying on Seeds of Skanda to apply your Dendro, then it's certainly not going to be enough. You're just going to end up with a bunch of Electro Charges instead of Hyper Blooms. So you sort of want to be on the field with Nahida, which is fine because like EM for her is more damage for Seeds of Skanda at the same time, so which is good.
Love listening to
but
the rain from the courtyard.
Typically in a Hyper Bloom team where you just have Nahida, Xingqiu, or Yelan, and Kuki, you want Kuki to be on the field so she gets the EM share and your Hyper Blooms do more damage. Just a bit of a shame. But if you have two Dendro characters, then you don't need Nahida to be on the field normal attacking enemies. Yeah, I'm back. Yo, welcome back, Sean. Good to see you, man. How you doing? Okay, be right back. Just swapping accounts. Gonna do dailies on the third account now. Dailies and weeklies. RJ, what weapon you using on your Nahida? Sacrificial fragments. I prefer sac frag, and that's because of content where it's multiple waves, right? And I really hate it when I just used my E, and then all the enemies from this wave die all of a sudden. They just I don't know, they just fall over dead, and then with sac frag, even at low refinements, okay, I understand it'll only happen once every now and then, that I'll be able to E mark every enemy in this wave, and then they just die, and then somehow sac frag procs, and then I'll have another E for the next wave. And for me, it's just a preference. I think Nahida's decent free-to-play weapons are all good on her. Like the damage difference between each and every one is just very low.
Gather.
Oh, this guy's the massive EM substat. Yeah, yeah. That's the number one reason why I use it. Number one reason obviously is the EM. But the extra E proc is sort of bonus. I prefer Sack Frag over Magic Guide, I think. Yeah, over Magic Guide just for that reason. I use Sack Frag and Nida. I lose so much crit rate, crit damage. I don't have. $66, 144. Then again, I'm only using 4 pieces in her stats. 66. Is that what's in her stats?
Stabilize.
If that's what's in her stats, then she's okay. Depending on how much EM you have. If you have basically 0 EM, then yeah, because like building her with 66 crit rate means that you're going you're going really high. Oh, sorry, I forgot to swap back. You're going really high on crit rate. You know, if you calculate her passive on. If you count her passive too, like even if you have just 500 EM, that's still I don't know, 300 times 0.03. That's still 9% crit rate. So with 66% crit rate already in your stats, then you're what at 75% crit rate for your Seeds of Skanda, which is again off-field Nahida, where most of her personal damage is coming from. Has so much Dendro damage on Naida because of her signature. And unfortunately, can get good EM piece on Goblins. Oh, that sucks. Oh, man. I'm just... Oh, speaking of artifacts, I recently started to farm the Fontaine artifact domain set. Because I'm pretty sure Farina is going to use one of the sets. Obviously, you know, she's from Fontaine. Then she's obviously gonna be using a Fontaine artifact set. Where are we going? Oh, here. Where am I going? Oh, here. Can't find EM Sands on set with crit. Yeah, it's really hard. Like those are the hardest to come by, actually. Well, for me, anyway. And according to yours, it seems like it's according to you too.
Wind strike.
Gather.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt Abyss with what I learned from you guys. Oh, nice. Nice, nice. Good luck, man. And also, good luck to me, because I just did my first nod off. About 20 seconds ago. Yeah. I started to nod off already. Alright. Anyway, we're just doing a bit, or sorry, not a bit, what am I doing? Weeklies and dailies for this one last account.
Stabilize.
The wind knows.
Yep, I'm certainly
Solidify.
nodding off. I just did it just now. Where my brain sort of tried to go into standby mode, but I'm like, no, 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 don't go into standby mode yet. I'm still working. Reset is near. Good luck. Yeah, yeah, and I love it too because like the Abyss reset, it happens at the same time as shop reset. Bottom team will just be Neuvillette. Oh man, man, you know, what the? Was there? What is this? Huh? Weird. What is this? Why did it suddenly come up? Is it a limited? It is limited. Let me see. Oh, it's 1,000 primos, and you got these, and this, and this, and to me, these three might as well not exist. These three might as well not exist for me. Yeah, so I'm starting to feel a similar way with Neuvillette as I do with skipping most Archons, because so not only because I know that Neuvillette's strong, no, it's certainly not because of that, but it's because Neuvillette seems to give this new, like, it's just really new gameplay where it's essentially similar to Alhaitham, where you sort of, like have a kind of, what is it called, in man, brain's not working anymore. I can't even think straight. Is the seahorse so tanky? The seahorse is really, really tanky. It's a boss, man. It's a boss. Also, it's got some kind of armor at first, so you have to break it. Yeah, you have to break it. So if you're running a Hyperbloom team, just use Nahida as your on-field character and just spam normal attacks at it. And there's my third nod off. And there's my fourth nod off.
Gather.
Access denied.
I see through you. Looks like I went too far.
There's my fifth nod off. Oh man, my brain is really working very hard to try like put itself into sleep mode. And I'm just saying no. I'm spamming the space bar so that it'll wake up again. I keep forgetting what is this thing immune to. Immune to electro, nice.
Everybody stand back!
Into the wind.
Time to let me read your verse. Know my sword. Rain outlines your fate. Yeah.
Oh, you're still alive. Okay. Never mind, I gave up. Oh, it's alright, man. It's alright, it's alright. You know, your account's kinda young. It's not the oldest account. So yeah, just keep farming for now. Do you remember the free glider from Anniversary? It was supposed to be like that on the bundle. But they gave it free because players were mad. Yes, yes, that's right. I do remember that. Oh, so it was supposed to be like this thing now. Oh, that's funny. I don't think Hoyo will ever do something like that ever again. No matter how bad it gets. Because, like, yeah, it's just not the Hoyo way. Pyro damage. Where am I going? What is this thing immune to? Pyro, come on.
Off we go!
Where's the... Oh, okay. There they are.
Stabilize.
No touching.
Oh,
Solidify.
oh. I just remembered. Any Filipinos in chat? It's sort of election day here. Not national elections, but just like local elections. What are the banners after this? They haven't announced it yet, man. Because the special program was supposed to be on Friday, but they postponed it. And then we still haven't gotten any word on when it is going to be. But some rumors are pointing towards, obviously, Farina, the Archon herself. And people seem to be talking about Baiju. And I don't know what else. Which server you play? I'm on the North America server, man.
This route.
Oops. Didn't need to do that.
If you ever...
I have my eyes set on C2 Nida. Thousands flow. My dreams only, then maybe light a foliar incision. Oh, I think the foliar Alhaitham sword is actually a pretty good investment. I think, yeah, it just makes him so much stronger than he already is. Of course, you can still do very well with just F2P weapons, but foliar just, man, like, it just takes him to, like, makes him feel like just C0 with foliar. You already start to get like a small taste of what a way. Of course, provided that you actually built him well, right? With just his weapon R1, no constellations, he already starts to feel a little bit like a mini whale.
Gather.
Iron Sting is really good on Alhaitham as well.
Get dicey. No, my sword.
This ends now.
This isn't good.
But Iron Sting, you do need better substats.
Evasion is futile.
Solidify.
The eye sweeps the land.
Quietly now. Here comes the catch. Let me leave you abreast.
This ends now. Emptiness awaits.
You don't like how the umbrella sword looks on him. No, no, I mean like for Al Haytham, it's just better to go with Iron Sting. So I know that the umbrella sword and Iron Sting have the same amount of EM, but you're not using Iron Sting on Al Haytham just for the EM. The passive on it is really, really good on him too. No wonder Hutao was doing 80k. Only Yelan is on Fabj. Oh man, Hutao. That's even today. I still consider like a lot of players might say that Hutao isn't like at the top of the top tier DPSs anymore. She's still among the top tier, but she's not at the top of the top anymore. But I still really like that feeling that she occasionally gives me. That I'm just doing my rotations. All right, just gotta put some hydro here, charge attack dash, and then all of a sudden screen fades to black because like I just finished all the enemies without me realizing it.
Busted. These are about to get dicey. Witness the power. Quietly now.
Solidify!
Rain outlines your fate. Know my sword. Rain cutter. Here comes the catch.
I don't remember there being this many.
Stabilize!
Witness the power of Gugwa. Gotcha. Huh?
Oops.
Game's up. Fun's over.
Gather!
Oh, come on. Still not done.
Know my sword. Rain outlines. Busted.
Okay, we're good.
Solidify!
Rain cutter. Quietly now. These are about to get dicey.
This isn't good.
I seem to be constantly fighting off the nodding off here. Oh man, I still okay. One more weekly boss to do, and then I gotta do the overflowing mastery. I think is what it's called.
Let it be known that divinity is mine! Stabilize! Churn!
Adventure time! Going in!
We're way behind schedule.
Insignificant pest!
Why is
Solidify!
Scaramouche's voice lines? Why is his voice lines a lot louder than everything else in this domain?
Next on the agenda. Born of ice and frost.
Oops.
I am the all-knowing God!
The wrong person. Pull. Also, sleep, man. You can hear the tiredness. You can probably see it too. You
Stabilize!
can probably see it like randomly.
To
You'll just see me
oblivion!
walking into a wall.
Adventure time!
Kneel!
Let's light it up!
Gather!
I didn't even. I wasn't even supposed to be streaming tonight. I was supposed to sleep early because I slept really late yesterday.
Stabilize!
But then I thought I don't want to push off my weekly stuff for tomorrow. So that's why I'm streaming now. I just wanted to get rid of these weeklies and then be done with them.
Good riddance, cruel world! Gather!
Where's the other thing? Oh.
Not possible. Stabilize!
Let's make her a little.
Ha! Ha!
We're way behind
I
schedule.
can't lose it all again.
All right. Just ley line stuff now. Genshin C0 and Constellations tier list. That sounds interesting.
Let me read you a verse. Know my sword! Here comes the catch!
What is this? What was that?
Gotcha.
I didn't know it did an attack like that. No, I did not want that. Oh man, I accidentally used one. Okay, well, this is already starting out to be a disappointment. Yep, certainly. Like you're a dad, and you think your child is like talented or smarter than a normal person of that age, and then like it starts making all the wrong decisions, and like every time it just makes the wrong decision. That's sort of what this artifact is. I mean, I don't know. It's whatever. I mean, it's not like I got a lot of those. 10 billion crit rate. Come on. Yep, that's my luck, man. Don't worry about it. That's just how my luck is.
Time to.
Not that bad. Yeah, at the very least, it landed a couple of attack percent. So it's not too bad. Yeah, RJ is falling asleep. How can you tell? It's not... Yeah, how can you tell? You know, I don't think it's that obvious, right? I can hear, see, and smell it.
Stabilize.
Let me read you a verse. Busted. Game's up. Time's over. No, my soul.
What is up with this? Does it always do this? Okay, I think that was 3 runs. Alright, well, I think that's gonna be it. Yeah, I really only wanted to get, how long have we been going? 2 hours. Oh wow, that was 2 hours? Why did that take so long? That was just dailies and weeklies, right? Did I fall asleep for like 20 minutes? Alright, well, anyway, I really only meant to do weeklies and dailies today, so today is certainly not going to be one of my longest streams, guys. Yeah, I gotta make up, well, I can't anymore. This is already 1:30 over here, but hey, I can't, I at least have to not do exactly what I did yesterday again today. Anyway, yeah, I certainly hope they announce or like they give us an update on the 4.2 special program. I think it'd be really weird. No, unusual, more unusual, not weird, but like unusual if the special program was this Friday, which is literally just less than a week from the version update. I don't know. I think they really would want it to be on a Friday evening. There's a reason why they do it on a Friday evening is like for a lot of their Asian customers, it's Friday evening, which is free time for a lot of people, which is, you know, more potential players watching. Alright, so on the 3rd of November. As it hasn't been officially, you know, posted, right?
Time itself is a silent song.
Because I don't know. I looked at the Genshin Twitter page. I looked at their YouTube community posts, and
Maybe off work this early?
their
There's still
website,
a
like
lot
their
left to
news
do.
website. No, I didn't see any announcement there. So this is, it seems like leak territory. If it's not, then that's great. Wait, November 3rd? What day is that? That is this Friday. Oh, okay. I guess. I guess it is this Friday. Yeah, cause like I don't know. It feels like it feels weird if they put it on a Wednesday or like a Thursday, or even a Tuesday. Yeah, and it like they would have significantly less people watching if they didn't do it on a Friday evening.
Time itself is a silent song.
Would you like to review my Yalan? I'm sorry, Genshin Grinder. I'm literally winding down for the stream. Yeah, because it's 1:30 in the morning here. And I was already really sleepy when I started the stream. And now I'm basically half asleep already.
It's so nice to do.
Also, what's up, Zane? I'm so sorry, man. You came at a really bad time. Stream, yeah, we're about to end actually. Imagine 4.2 released before the live stream. That would be something. Yeah. I mean, I'll still take the primos. You know, Primogem codes, right? I'll still take them. As long as they're not expired by the time the special program happens, sure, I'll take them. But, yeah. Up one more here. Knowledge will expand. Like I feel like Megamind, even though I forgot everything. Yeah, like wrong person. I don't know if you're on our Discord server yet. There's like a bunch of like really active, like just big brain people there. Yeah, we have a build discussion channel. I think that's, you know, where it would be most appropriate. But yeah, like a lot of big brain people over there. Well, maybe not a lot. Obviously, you know, got a small community compared to like other creators, but it's something. RJ needs 20 crit rate roll to be wide awake. Oh no! If something that circlet did have the potential to be that, because it was a 4 stat. It started with 4 stats, and it was max crit rate too. So it had the potential to be a 20 crit rate roll. That would have been like instant coffee pill. Yeah, that would have been like getting a 20 crit rate roll on a circlet, crit damage circlet. That would have been like instant wide awake. Jeez. Well, I mean, thank you, Hoyo. So that I could get to sleep, I guess. Sure. Thank you, Hoyo.
This early? There is still a lot left to do.
Time itself is a silent song.
I had a great sleep schedule for 2 months. Now I'm insomniac again. Wow, that certainly took a turn. What a sharp turn. How did you manage to turn so sharply? At least you reached out at the right time.
It's so nice to de-stress.
Time itself is a silent song.
I always rolled 70 crit rate on the Kokomi set. Oh no. Oh no. No. Ah. I was crying for Ito pieces. Oh. You mean like you could have kept it, you know, just as an off piece at least for someone else? 17 crit rate? That's no joke, man. I would creep that, even if it's just like an off piece. That's awful. That feels bad. I mean, not gonna lie, I do also have like I have like maybe 1 or 2 really, really good maidens pieces. Maybe not as good as like a 17 crit rate piece, but some good ones, yeah.
Time itself is a silent song.
Didn't even have 2-piece set yet.
Really
Okay.
be off work this early?
Oh man, that's
There's
kind of
still
painful.
a lot left to do.
Well, anyway, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Yeah, if you guys need any help building your characters' accounts or need any help making a decision which banners to pull for, feel free to join our Discord server. Links are in the description of all my videos, VODs, and streams, and in the pinned message in YouTube chat. You can ping me over there. My name's Elvis Einstein, or you could ask for my opinion, ask for other people's opinion over there. Thank you guys so much for coming by, hanging out, and being awesome people. Have a good day, good afternoon, good evening, and take care, everybody. Bye, guys. Good night to I don't know, anyone in Asia or near-ish Asia. And then I guess have a good day to people in on the other side of the planet.
Time itself is a silent song.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, guys.